Coming up on Valley News Live at 10, snowflakes in late May and now frost moving in.
The dip in temperatures tonight won't be good for the garden. Advice to protect your plants.
Plus, the military families who are forced to move but can't recoup the cost of damaged belongings. Valley News Live at 10 starts right now.
This is Valley News Live at 10.
It's the end of May, and look at that. Snowflakes in state.
The forecast calls for that cold weather overnight.
Let's get the latest from Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson on the freeze warning that's in place for our area. Hutch?
Mike, Andrea, thanks so much. Good evening, everybody. And on June 1st is meteorological summer. We're just a few short days away from that, and then you show that video. That's right. Anything can happen here. Now, when we're talking cold weather, the best chance for cold comes when we clear out. Look at that gorgeous setting sun captured by our Home of Economy camera in Grand Forks. So Grand Forks clearing out and temperatures there, well, not too bad. Let's take a look at those across the area. First, I think we're going to see freezing temperatures everywhere. We're already near those 30s in Bemidji, but many of us holding in the mid and upper 40s. In South Dakota, still exiting. But if you focus on this area right here, we have clearing skies up in Grand Forks as we saw, but still cloudy down here. So I think our southern counties have the best chance at escaping some of the freezing temperatures, but maybe not the frost. So we'll have some advice to protect things, but the best chance far north and east for sub-freezing temperatures.
All right. Thanks, Hutch.
As Hutch alluded to, with those cold temps, the danger lurks for local gardens.
Valley News Team's Aaron Walling spoke with the experts about how to protect your plant life.
With cold temperatures in the Fargo-Moorhead area, people are asking, how do I protect my plant life? Well, gardeners are saying, don't panic. Not all is lost.
Just take a moment. You're going to be able to handle it. There's lots of tools at your disposal. But the first big thing is to cover and bring inside.
With calls for frost warnings in late May, many gardens have already been planted. According to those in the profession, you will want to protect your plants because it is hard to come back from frostbite.
You can't really, once it's frostbit, it's pretty tough to recover. So that's why you got to be super careful. Maybe throw a blanket over there to help insulate it.
Here are some tips on how to protect your plants according to North Dakota State University's Don Kinsler. Move the plants into your home during cold nights. Use blankets or plastic sheets to cover your plants outside. And water the plants before nightfall. Dry plants receive the worst of the frostbite damage.
Again, because so many people around here have already planted and they don't really know what to do. And again, people are panicking, so we're trying to warn people you don't need to panic. You have all the tools at your disposal. If you don't have tarps, if you don't have all the really intense cover, go grab a garbage can, grab an old planter. Anything you have in your house can cover your plants.
At the Northern Plains Botanic Garden, I'm Aaron Walling, Valley News Live.
That freeze warning is in effect from 1 a.m. to 8 a.m. tomorrow for all of eastern North Dakota and northwest corner of Minnesota.
Dozens gathered outside the Grand Forks Police Department this morning to honor an officer killed in the line of duty 1 year ago. 29-year-old Cody Holte was a 10-year veteran in the National Guard and served with the Grand Forks Police Department for just over 3 years, leaving behind a wife and young son.
This day we witnessed the best and worst of what mankind has to offer.
Holte responded as backup after an eviction notice served by the Grand Forks County Sheriff's Office went south. Court documents say he was killed by one of the over 40 rounds shot from 42-year-old Salama Pendleton's AK-40 officer Patrick Torok and Grand Forks Sheriff's Deputy Ron Nord, as well as the murder of his own mother, 61-year-old Lola Moore, who was caught in the crossfire. He's expected to go to trial later this summer.
Nearly everyone loves getting free stuff, right? And Minnesota is offering a number of rewards to Minnesotans who get vaccinated by July 1st. The campaign is aiming to get 70% of state residents ages 16 and up vaccinated. Some of the rewards include 2 tickets to the Minnesota State Fair, a fishing license good until next year, and 1 admission to the Minnesota Zoo.
Just several weeks ago, we were the second highest state in cases rising. Today we're the 3rd lowest state, and our projections and our modeling, and I want to thank Mayo Clinic for this, we're almost spot on. We figured by the end of May that our vaccination program and the mitigation efforts that we had taken would blunt that surge. That's proving to be true.
Right now, about 57% of eligible residents are considered fully vaccinated. Nearly 64% have received at least 1 dose.
A new study finds a small percentage of athletes who had COVID-19 also have a rare heart ailment. Last September, the Big Ten College Conference required cardiac screenings for athletes who tested positive for COVID-19. Nearly 1,600 were tested. 37 of them were diagnosed with myocarditis, a rare inflammation of the heart muscle. 28 had no specific symptoms. That heart condition is the leading cause of sudden death in competitive athletes.
It's estimated that more than 2 million women left the workforce during the pandemic, and a health organization says universal paid country in Washington, D.C. have universal paid leave laws. During the pandemic, Congress approved temporary tax credits to encourage more states and employers to offer paid leave, but those credits expire at the end of the summer.
In North Dakota, more than 4 times more women were unemployed at the end of 2020 compared to recovery from COVID-19. Making sure universal access to paid leave should be on the top of the list.
The foundation says paid family leave is linked to reduced infant mortality, healthy child development, and improved mental health for mothers.
The company that syndicated the late conservative talk show host Rush Limbaugh's program has announced who will step into Limbaugh's time slot. Premier Networks says the slot will now be occupied by Clay Travis and Buck Sexton. Sexton has had a more traditional career in conservative media. Travis is largely known for his commentary on sports, but has also sparked controversy for sexist remarks. Both have been supportive of former President Trump. The program will debut on June 21st. Bill Cosby's request for parole has been denied. The Pennsylvania Parole Board turned down the former comedian's attempt at parole on May 11th, citing a number of reasons, including that Cosby must complete additional institutional programs. The board also said Cosby hasn't developed a parole release plan, and he received a negative recommendation from the Department of Corrections. He was convicted on sexual assault charges in 2018. Cosby was sentenced to 3 to 10 years in prison.
The United States Senate advanced bipartisan legislation today that would counter China's growing influence. The procedural vote got off to a rough start as Republicans appeared poised to block the bill from advancing. Senators from both parties negotiated amendments for more than 3 hours. A deal was finally made, and enough GOP senators switched their votes to allow it to advance. The deal includes a $200 billion investment in American technology, science, and research.
Every year, thousands of military families say their belongings are damaged when they're told to move. Still ahead tonight, what lawmakers say needs to change.
This morning, we had a beautiful sunrise captured here in the Devil's Lake area, and those clouds are going away. It looks bitter cold tonight for many. A freeze warning in effect for all of our counties. Your hour-by-hour forecast and a look ahead towards your holiday weekend right after this.